Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are in downtown Manhattan. Okay, we are in downtown Manhattan. We're going to take a walk today from Oculus, and we are inside the Oculus to Seaport district through Wall Street. Welcome everyone. Let's have a nice, pleasant, sunny walk. We are going to take a look at the Oculus from the upper level before we exit. And then we will walk outside and enjoy the landscapes, buildings, and the weather. Opinion, good day. Went here before, brings back good memories. Good morning, welcome to the stream. One of the exits is located right above us, and before we exit, we will take a look at the Oculus from top, from the upper point, the highest point here in the Oculus to observe. President's Day is this coming Monday, 21st of January, and I think Oculus is lit in red, white, and blue for the President's Day. During Christmas season, they are down there on the floor. They had a fantastic installation, but Oculus looks fantastic no matter what. It's just this magnificent architecture. We're going to walk out and enjoy the atmosphere around this area. There's a lot of things to see. Denise, good morning. First, we're going to enjoy the murals around here. Dave, good morning. Fang, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, February 19th. We're in downtown and we're going to walk from here to Wall Street and to Seaport district. Ramirez, good morning. Before we turn and walk toward Broadway and Wall Street, we want to enjoy the views here, the murals, and of course the World Trade Center. Foxtail, good almost afternoon, and hello to you too. Welcome, welcome everyone. Let's take a look at World Trade Center. And the temperature is going to drop throughout the day, but it's not so bad right now. Looking straight down, we see Brookhill Place Mall, and between the Oculus here and Brookhill Place is a 9/11 memorial. Welcome everyone to the stream. More and more people are joining in. Happy Saturday. Today is the beginning of the President's Day weekend. President's Day is official national holiday and it's Monday, February 21st. It's dedicated to George Washington's birthday that falls on February 22nd, but it's been unified. The national holidays have been unified, and therefore President's Day is the third Monday in February, which is the 21st of February. And since they unified that, I think it was 1974, not even a single time George Washington's birthday fell exactly on President's Day, but it's close enough. This line is to National September 11 Memorial Museum. Hey Elise, good morning, and Karen, good morning too. Hi from Buenos Aires. Hola. Hola desde Nueva York. We are going to take a quick look at the memorial. Since we're right here, we cannot just ignore it. This is the museum, and the Oculus is right here. This whole area is a very popular tourist attraction. And World Trade Center is right over here. Freedom Tower. This is the exact spot where the towers stood. One of them is here, the other one is over there. And Brookfield Place Mall is right there behind, across the street, and behind the mall is the Hudson River. Going to walk around here towards Broadway. Broadway would be that way, so we will walk around here. But before we do, let's take a look at the murals, because those are a work of art. Fox Tech, this is not a swimming pool. No, it is not a swimming pool. It's a memorial. This is the memorial site where the Twin Towers stood before they got attacked and destroyed on September 11th, 2001. So we stood by the North Pole, where the North Tower was, and the South Pole is over that way, where the South Tower stood. And that's the Oculus. Welcome everyone, and thank you for your likes and for your shares. Let's take a look at the murals around there. Those are also good and definitely deserve our attention. Works of art, and this one is the future home of the Ronald O. Perlman Performing Arts Center, opening in 2023. This will be a performing arts center, a concert hall. Would probably be in competition with Carnegie Hall. This one says everyone's different and everyone's the same. Lots of tourists here. It's a weekend and a lot of tours and a lot of tourists. And that guy over there is selling them a book with photographs about 9/11. They're still capitalizing on that. And we are exploring the murals and artwork around World Trade Center here before we continue our walk toward Broadway and Wall Street. We're in downtown Manhattan. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining in. And let's enjoy this morning and afternoon. Going to walk around this structure that it is all covered by murals. Good morning, Patty C. Good morning, nice guy. It was sunny here about 20 minutes ago. All of a sudden, it's not as sunny, and so what? No big deal. Different angles at which we look at the Oculus and World Trade Center. This one says make art. Admir, hello, good morning, good afternoon to you. It's beautiful murals here. Welcome, welcome. We're in downtown Manhattan around World Trade Center and Oculus and Broadway, and Wall Street is our next point of interest, but before we get to Wall Street, we will enjoy the area around here, of course. This is World Trade Center area. As you can see, and the Oculus is right here. This is pretty much where we're standing right now. And let's take a look at this mural again. And it's full panoramic display. Great artwork. Welcome everyone, thank you for your likes, thank you for your shares, and if you discovered us and not subscribed yet, we welcome you to our channel. Live Walking NYC, LWNYC. And this is another entrance to the Oculus / mall. Oculus is a major transportation hub and the shopping mall. A lot of maps around here for the tourists so they cannot get lost, even though it's very difficult to get lost around here. There's always some sort of construction going on in New York City. Yes, these paintings, they are all different and they are all awesome. and Freedom Tower, World Trade Center. And more tourists, and more tourists of all ages. A lot of children here as well. This is Basie Street and Church Street intersection in downtown Manhattan. Century 21 used to be a department store right here in the middle of the screens. I should say centuries. It was one of the most popular department stores as far as affordability and quality at the same time. Unfortunately closed and still displaying the old sign, Century 21 on them. This one is a new mural that wasn't here recently. It says, "Welcome to the World Trade Center." Tamarji, ciao from Venezia, Italia. Hey, Tamarji, ciao from New York City, downtown New York City. Look at this. It's not even mural, it's a major artwork. It covers the walls, pipes, and the additional structures, I should call it, and it all together creates the whole ensemble. Tamires, Montezuma, Cobra, Brazil. Hey Tamires, good morning. This is World Trade Center area in downtown Manhattan. World Trade Center building. Freedom Tower, it's called. This one is the Oculus major transportation hub and also a shopping center, a shopping mall. And there's the Millennium Hotels right across. We will walk toward Broadway, which is one block over that way. This is Church Street in downtown Manhattan. And subway entrances here. And this is Fulton Street. And there and up. X28 bus. It's going between Brooklyn and Manhattan. X28 bus. Those are so-called express buses. It's a very old cemetery that is behind the church. We're going to walk around to see the front of the church. That's a very old cemetery. Probably one of the oldest in New York City. You cannot even read them anymore. They're so old. Some of them, or most of them even. Fulton Street Transportation Hub is there across the street in the middle of the screens. Also pretty advanced hub. They all interconnected to Oculus, and there are places to eat, places to stay indoors if it's you know, the weather is not so good, and just in general a lot of different subway line connections here. Welcome everyone to the stream. This is Fulton Street Station, subway station. And there are multiple entrances from that building there, which is the main Fulton Center hub, and also street entrances. The lines number 4, 5, and also A, C, J, Z, 2, and 3. It's a big hub, and sometimes you need to walk quite a few steps from one line to transfer, but it's convenient. That's Fulton Street Transportation Center. This is St. Paul's Chapel. Beautiful architecture as well. Sierra Savannah, good morning and welcome. Helen, how are you? Good morning everyone. St. Paul Chapel, Trinity Church. Too bad it's closed. We will definitely step in, but we will enjoy the facade of it. The door looks open, but externally, the entrance is closed. Trinity Church on Wall Street. iPhone. The answer is iPhone. iPhone 12 Pro. Nice guy says St. Paul's Chapel. George Washington prayed here after his presidential inauguration. Thank you very much, nice guy, for the historical facts and for adding them to our stream. Thank you. Sierra says amazing view. Thank you. You're welcome. Unfortunately, it's closed, but let's take a peek at what we see in side and backyard of the St. Paul's Church Chapel, Trinity. This one we can read from here, just to give you an example of the prominent New Yorkers buried here in this cemetery. It's a William James McNiven, MD, born in Ireland, March 21st, AD 1763. Died in New York, July 12th, AD 1841. Yes, and we hope that the signal will behave, because it's been noticed by multiple streamers that the signal in New York City lately has been a little moody, and it has something to do with the much improved 5G network that has been launched, but unfortunately it is jumping up and down, so we will hopefully be enjoying the more or less steady signal today. But if it gets a little laggy, we do apologize. It's not our fault. It has been proven that it's not our fault, it's the network at this point, because the phones are and the streaming devices are same as before, and nothing changed. Going through some updates. Fulton Center Transportation Hub, I should say, and we are on Broadway. This is Broadway, and we are walking toward Wall Street. As we do, we're enjoying the views, and we also looking at the historical plaques here in the buildings. This one is 195 Broadway, built in 1923 as the headquarters for American Telephone and Telegraph, William Wells Bosworth architect. So this building was built in 1923 as the headquarters for American T, the first headquarters of AT&T. In 1923, this was the building. The first headquarters of American Telephone and Telegraph, AT&T, 1923. Helen says, New York and its beauties, Manhattan. It's a very nice addition to the facade of the building, to the lights. Very colorful. And we are seeing the signal slightly unstable, but we apologize again in advance. And just to let you know, in case of God forbid, the signal will be so bad that it will stop our transmission, we will restart as soon as we can. This is the worst case possible, of course. Welcome everyone to the stream. 85 people watching us according to our counter. Welcome, welcome. Another entrance to the Fulton Street Station and Cortlandt Street Station. On different lines are called different names at this point. Cortlandt Street for R and W lines, Fulton Street for AC, J, Z, 2 and 3 lines. Quite a few stores in here too. Urban Outfitters here, Gap is there. We're in downtown Manhattan. That's the other side of Century 21 that used to be probably the most popular department store chain in this area. There was another big location on Broadway and what was it? West 62nd or 63rd Street or 65th. One of those also closed, of course. Yes, we live in Manhattan. This is Cortlandt Street. See, there's narrow, winding downtown streets and older architecture, I should say. We're crossing Cortlandt Street and Broadway. Another nice view is at the end of this block. As you can see, there's an art installation to the right of it. So Fog 22, good morning and welcome to the stream. We're exploring downtown Manhattan today around World Trade Center to Wall Street to Seaport District. This is Liberty Street and another look toward World Trade Center area here. Well, you don't see World Trade Center building from here, but you see the area surrounding it, and look at this one here. Leo, Ola from Providence, Rhode Island. Great weekend, amigo. Thank you so much. Same to you, Ola. Nice guy says, soon it will be warm to take ferry to Governor's Island. Yes, it's soon to be warm to have more pleasant and longer walks left. Let's look at this one. This man on Wall Street, man. Look inside his case, his file, with a zipper, and his old style calculator right there. Remember those? Pens and pencils, probably a pack of cigarettes. Some sort of intercom device that could be a tape recorder, probably. So it's right there. But of course, someone had to leave the autograph here because, you know, artwork is to be defaced. That's what artwork is for. You know, we're just trying to be funny, but that luckily it's not that bad, even though there's a bunch of initials right there as well. Very realistic work. And this sculpture is called Double Chuck. Double Chuck by Stuart Johnson, the everyman businessman presence in Liberty Park before had faded into the background amongst his human brethren, has been called a survivor. That was lifted, battered yet whole from the dust and rubble after the September 11th 2001 tragedy. The parks have since been rebuilt, and this bronze man sits near its original site, bearing scratches and bruises. He sustained that day as a poignant reminder of hope and endurance for us all. 1982, the Stuart Johnson Atelier, Inc. There's always something to discover in the city. Wow, that is impressive, really, Troy. Let's continue our walk toward Wall Street. We are on Broadway. And it's Liberty Park. Welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. We are in downtown New York City around World Trade Center area. Local time 11:38 a.m. Almost 90 people watching us according to our counter here, and we are going to hopefully see more and more people joining in. Kevin, good morning to you as well. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for your likes and for your shares. And if you'd like to support our channel with a super chat, super stickers, and other links that are in description to the stream, by all means, we do appreciate your help and and supporting our channel. Thank you so much. This is Equitable Building. The Mighty Bull, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Mighty Bull says, I am enjoying your tour. Thank you very much, the Mighty Bull. Equitable Building, 120 Broadway. Thames Street is downtown Manhattan. The streets are not numbered, they have names, and they're very narrow. Oh, there happens to be an old street name, street sign as well, Thames Street. They don't make it like this anymore. It's right there on the wall, on the corner of the building. Pine Street is the next street, and we are approaching Trinity Church. Amongst the others here at this cemetery, Alexander Hamilton is buried here. One of the founding fathers of the United States. Selvin, watching from Barbados. Hey, Selvin from Barbados, excuse me. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, almost afternoon. Unfortunately, it looks like it's closed for visitors, and that's a little bit sad because we could have looked, of course. But still, you can probably even get a couple of looks here. The Mighty Bull says, watching, learning, and listening. Thank you, thank you. In fact, the Mighty Bull is down there at the beginning of Broadway, not so far away from here. We might as well. This is Trinity Church. Trinity Church got covered by debris on 9/11, 2001, as World Trade Center fallout was happening right around this area. This is Broadway and Wall Street. Wall Street starts right here across the street. And before we turn into Wall Street, we might walk a little bit further down Broadway this way. We'll take a quick look at how it looks like before we join the crowds of tourists here going to Wall Street. Quite a few people there. It's a Saturday and it's a holiday weekend. Stock exchange and other institutions are closed. Even stock exchange is no longer trading on inside of the building, but it's definitely worth looking. Let's enjoy the main entrance to Trinity Church. D. Cesar 08, good morning from Brazil. Good morning. Devon, good morning. Good morning. It's very nice to see you all. See our familiar faces and new faces. Welcome, welcome. In case if you not subscribed yet, we invite you to our channel. Subscribe with all notifications, and this way you will never miss our streams and videos. Welcome, welcome to Life Walking NYC LWNYC. Andrea, good morning. Let's see what's on our agenda. We are browsing downtown around World Trade Center area, which we have been doing for this 40 minutes, and walked around Oculus and around World Trade Center a little bit and enjoyed the murals there, and came to Broadway. Now we are about to walk through Wall Street, but before we do, let's walk down Broadway a little bit as we want to take a look at the beginning of Broadway here in downtown, and then we will turn back and walk through Wall Street on our way to Seaport District. Carlos, good morning. Axel, the 6-string guy. Hi, Axel. Almost over 90 people watching us. Welcome, welcome. This is Wall Street Station on 4 and 5 subway lines. That's one of the entrances here. Let's look up and see these buildings that at some point, as they were built, were probably the tallest buildings in the world at some point. This one is 1 Wall Street. This is Rector Street. And we can see World Trade Center from here as well, the upper portion of the building. Skyscraper Junkie, good morning. I love walking in this area. Good morning, and we love showing you this area. Thank you for joining our stream. Look, there's a lot of tourists walking, and there's a lot of tourist buses as well. This one is Top View NYC downtown tour. We're going to walk a little bit more on Broadway, because this is where Broadway begins in downtown and goes all the way up through the whole island of Manhattan. Oh, that's interesting. Look at this sign. Usually we say fast food, right? This one says 65 Marketplace, slow food. People here have sense of humor, meaning nothing to be hurried about, just eat slowly. Deanne, hello everyone. I'm looking forward to this nice walk. Hi Deanne, thank you for joining. Good Saturday morning to you. Nora FJ, good morning, good morning. We are going to walk back in a moment and enjoy Wall Street as our next major point of interest. However, coming up, the Mighty Bull special. The Mighty Bull right there in front of us, the Raging Bull statue. Another major point for tourists to take a picture next to. And in the background, the Museum of American Indians, the Smithsonian Institution as well. It's a free museum. I'm magnificent building. It's not a super huge museum inside, but it's a free museum, so might as well if you're in downtown. And the Mighty Bull statue right there. Oh, excuse me, the Raging Bull, I think it's called. Actually, no, it's the Charging Bull. That's how it's called. Charging Bull. We're going to approach. There is a lot of people waiting to take a picture. Some want to take a picture with the front of the statue, and some want to take a picture with the back of the statue, and some want to take a picture with everywhere. The Charging Bull, thank you so much. There's so many words that can describe it. So that's the Charging Bull, the Mighty Bull special. What a coincidence, we were in downtown right there. Why not take a look? So we see about 100 people standing in line here. It is a magnificent piece of art, absolutely unique, and there's no other like that. Look at the line of people who are anxious enough to... It's not the longest line we've seen, to be honest. It's not early in the day, but it's not the longest line. But it's definitely a great memory for those who are in New York. Someone wants to take a picture with the front. Hey, there's another line that wants to take a picture with the back. Why? You will see, if you're not sure yet. Let's see which line is longer. We're standing on one of these stones or rocks right here to get us a better view. So this is the line that is for those who ways to take a picture with the front of the composition, and this is the line that ways to take a picture of the back. About the same. This is why. It's funny because these are kids. To some, this picture is absolutely, I mean, it's even more exciting than the picture at the front of the bull, but maybe to some it is pretty funny. Or maybe they want to take a picture next to that for good luck, or maybe they want to touch it for good luck. That one is definitely shinier than the rest of the bull, probably because it is being touched all the time. Hey, NY, good morning. Lots of people out today. Yes, yes, yes. Interesting. And fun. Yeah, the guys don't do that usually, but apparently his wife and his girlfriend is asking him to go down there, but he's refusing to do that. The Mighty Bull says the testicles of fame and fortune. That is why they all taking pictures next to it. The shoot, what we notice is that the ladies, they don't have any problems doing this at all. They just basically go right down there. Guys, it's very questionable. And that's the front of the building. Excuse me, the front of the sculpture. And okay, some of them are okay, some of them are not. Alright, we are going to take a look at the Museum of American Indians right there in the background. And by the way, Staten Island Ferry Terminal is right there in the middle of the screen down there, from where you can take a free ferry to Staten Island, by the way, and with the fantastic views of the Statue of Liberty. And hey, Sebastian. And also to the left of it is a ferry terminal that takes people to what's the name of that island? Governor's Island. And the Charging Bull in downtown Manhattan. This is where Broadway begins. This is the beginning of Broadway. See, 26th Broadway building. Broadway basically starts right here. And from here it goes all the way uptown. And we're going back a little bit and making a right turn to Wall Street. Over 100 people watching us, and we welcome all of you to our stream. We appreciate your likes, your shares, your donations in the form of super chats, super stickers, also Cash Apps, Ko-Fis, and Venmos. Our channel would not be possible without your support and your donation. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, the Mighty Bull, for your donation. We're going to prepare our extended battery in case if we need it later. Let's take a look at the tourists. The tourists are determined, the walking tourists and probably local New Yorkers too. For those who could get lost, there are a lot of street signs here. New York Stock Exchange and Federal Hall is that way, which is on Wall Street. Trinity Church across from Wall Street, and 9/11 Memorial is where it came from. Morton from Norway, good afternoon to you. And the more likes you give us, the more people everywhere in the world will discover our stream and our channel. So we thank you so much for all your likes and all your shares. You're more than welcome to share the links on your social media platforms as well. And this one is the old building of American Express Company, probably the first headquarters too. So it's an American Express Company here, Amex. And this is how it looks like. I don't think Amex headquarters are located here now, but historically this building was kept its signage. Lots of history here if you start digging. So Trinity Church is to our left. and the World Trade Center, and we are going to make a right in a moment into Wall Street. Let's take a look at Trinity Church one more time. We'll continue moving in a few moments. Sarita, what is time there now? The time in New York is 12 o'clock. It's exactly 12 o'clock p.m. Good afternoon, everyone, in New York City. We are plugging our extended battery to make sure that we are good to go. This is Wall Street, and we are turning into Wall Street. The intersection of Broadway and Wall Street, where Trinity Church is. So folks says Pace University is nearby across from City Hall. Yes, and City Hall is that way. Not too far, that's very true. This is One Wall Street, and we are walking Wall Street right now. So folks says I went to school there, Pace University. Grade school. And landmark here. This is the site of wall of New Amsterdam in 1653. The city of New Amsterdam erected a wall along the northern edge of town to protect the inhabitants from attack. This wall, 5 to 6 feet high, was constructed of heavy planks laid horizontally and ran from the Hudson River to the East River on the line of present-day Wall Street. Frequently in need of repair, the wall had been abandoned by 1699. And this is why this street is called Wall Street. Good afternoon, Norman, and good afternoon, Priscilla. And this is One Wall Street. Hey Norman, happy Saturday to you too. Wall Street is not a huge and long street. It's pretty short compared to other streets, but definitely full of history. And right there around the corner is New York Stock Exchange, and on the right and Federal Hall on the left. Welcome everyone to the stream, and as always, if you're not subscribed yet, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, Live Walking NYC, LWNYC. Joanne, it's 1 o'clock p.m. in Trinidad and Tobago. As always, a beautiful live stream. Love it. Thank you so much, and welcome. TJ Maxx, in case if you want to shop, or if you need something all of a sudden, or if you're freezing and you need an extra sweater or a jacket, right here. And this is Federal Hall. This is the site where George Washington took the oath as the President of the United States. And this is New York Stock Exchange, Broad Street and Wall Street. New York Stock Exchange. And there's another small but very popular statue there that I think is still there, but people want to take a picture next to, unless it's been moved again. Yeah, it was a statue of a girl here. Oh yeah, it's still there. Andrea, hello people. Hello Andrea. Welcome everyone to the stream. We're streaming from New York City live, and this is New York Stock Exchange. NYSE. Sarita says where she is from is 10:50 p.m. Wow, that's a huge time difference. Someone says hello from Karakal, Pakistan. Very interesting name. Andrea, is this a house of NASDAQ? No, it's a house of NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. And right here is the Federal Hall, which is currently closed for some sort of renovation, but this is not the original Federal Hall, but it's very old too, and where George Washington's statue is the approximate site where he stood when he took the oath as the first President of the United States of America. And Trinity Church is in the background. And one more look at New York Stock Exchange. This is the Trump building, but this is not that Trump building with Trump live. This is the building that belongs, one of the buildings that belongs to Trump organization. And why it says it's like going back in time as you walk down there. Great stream L. Thank you so much. And why you're a great viewer, as everyone else is great too. Thank you so much for your kind comments, everyone. This is 30 Wall Street, and the sign there says right there, site of the branch bank of the United States, 1823, of the SA office, 1853, site of. Now the Trump building is right there, but it's not the Trump Tower. It's just a building that belongs to Trump organization. There was a nice indoor space in there with Starbucks and tables where you could sit down and have a meal. I think it's there. No, it's next door. It's next door. During the shutdown, everywhere in the city, including this street, imagine the street completely empty with no people. This is how Wall Street looked during the shutdown in March, April, May, June 2020. Sarita, nice to see America. I am seeing this live. I feel like I'm there. Thank you so much. That's why we're here for. Norman, nice meeting you all at Live Walk NYC. Great channel. Much love. Thank you so much, Norman. Looking at Wall Street and its buildings. This is subway 2 and 3 train, the Wall Street station. So folks, we are starting to see light snow in North New Jersey. It might be heading your way. Thank you for the heads up. This is Cipriani, an upscale restaurant and catering hall. But the building itself is definitely historical and originally was something else. Actually, it has a plaque there and a plaque here. So let's take a look at this one first. Let's see what we're about to read. We're going to read about this building as we cross the street. Oh, look at the Tesla. The white Tesla. So this building is a very old sign and a newer one. Very old one says, this cornerstone of the Bank of New York was laid June the 22nd, 1797 by Julian Verplanck, Esquire, the president, CEO, to let very interesting font here, 1797. This one is Bank of New York Trust Company building. That is original building of original site of Bank of New York.
Yeah, you got it. You can see it.
This building is built in 1927, 1929. To the designs of prominent architect Benjamin Wister Morris for the Bank of New York and Trust Company. Farhan, welcome, welcome. And more signs to explain the history. Exploring Lower Manhattan, 40 Wall Street, the Manhattan Company. If you'd like to read this, you can always rewind and take a look. And of course, here where Cipriani is right now, let's see what this building originally was. As we cross the street, let's read the sign. This is 55 Wall Street. Was designed by prominent Boston architect Isaiah Rogers and constructed between 1836 and 1842. The facade of the original four-story Greek Revival style building featured 12 massive Ionic columns. This is how old Wall Street is, 1836, 1842. You can imagine the world-leading architecture technology is implemented in this building at that time. That was probably top of the line of everything. This one is a new addition, fairly new addition right there. I think it's been built very recently. And this one says Bank of New York building. We're continuing our walk. We are on Wall Street in New York. Yeah, this space across the street used to be very vibrant with stores and cafes and Starbucks and tables where you could take a break and enjoy it. And now it looks empty. As all the companies move their operations to different offices, they work from home. They still have tables, but we don't know what is even open there. This is the space. This is sad. It doesn't look like it's busy as it was. Not busy at all, in fact. And maybe these little stores are open Monday through Friday, but right now on the weekend they're closed. The Starbucks was here, but looks like it's no longer there. This is some sort of a cafe, and this is some sort of a sushi place. Also entrances to 2-3 Wall Street Station. Subway line here as well. Palm trees are real. This is indoor space where people could and still can take a break, take some time, and enjoy themselves and maybe have a meal, have lunch, hide from bad weather. This is a fountain that is not being a fountain anymore. Welcome everyone to the stream. We are on Wall Street and we're streaming live from New York City. Local time 12:20 p.m. And we are enjoying this Saturday afternoon with you. Thank you for working with us. It is a space that could have been prettier even if it was vibrant and full of people and businesses were open. And let's hang out there. Not right now, but in other spots around the city, they would definitely. Let's continue. This is 63 Wall Street. Hanover Street and Wall Street. This is a 60 Wall Street Deutsche Bank building. Right here. It is a little noisy, but not as much. We're here in New York. This is not even a noise level that is noticeable. This is Pearl Street and Wall Street. Pearl Street. Welcome everyone to the stream. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And thank you for your likes, your shares, your super chats, and your super stickers. Thank you, thank you. Showing you Wall Street, what it looks like these days. February 19th, 2022 right now, in this present moment in New York City. Narrow streets of downtown. It is not raining or snowing. It is pretty decent right now. And we are approaching Water Street. Water Street and Wall Street. Welcome everyone to the stream. We are streaming live from New York City. We're in downtown. We started in Oculus around World Trade Center area, and we walked around and walked to Wall Street. Now we're on Wall Street and we are going to browse and zigzag toward that area right there, which is a Seaport area. But first we're going to take a look at the river. Welcome everyone. I hope you're enjoying the walk. We're streaming live for you. This is Saturday afternoon, February 19th. February 21st will be the President's Day here in the US, and the 3-day weekend, as Monday is a day off for government employees and a lot of companies. Not all, but quite a few. Hey, Sierra Dangol, the time here is 12:27 p.m. 12:27 in the afternoon. So, we are at the other end of Wall Street, almost. Let's take a look at the waterfront. Let's take a look at East River and Brooklyn on the other side of East River. There's Starbucks here. Starbucks is open. There's a Front Street. Thank you, Patty C, for the time update. Front Street and Wall Street. New York City Ferry terminal is here. It goes to Brooklyn as well. New York City Ferry is a nice transportation and quick too, but you cannot stay outside. There's no outside space. You have to be inside, and the windows are pretty dirty, and looking at the city through those windows is not as pleasant. But in case of emergency, or sometimes just for fun, it's nice to take ferry. That's a ferry and ferry terminal. Wall Street stop. So let's take a look at the ferry. This is not the ferry that goes to Staten Island. That one is much bigger and orange. Free ferry. This one is not free. This one costs as much as the subway ticket or bus ticket, which is kind of interesting. Pretty long. New York City Ferry, and Brooklyn is on the other side of East River. And the bridges, Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Bridge. we will zigzag around this area, and for now we are going to walk towards Seaport area, which is where the bridges are, but we're going to take the streets. We're trying to show you a different angle to give you the atmosphere of New York City from different perspectives. Have fun, Patty, and Norman. Have good lunch, and we'll see you later. This is the East River, Manhattan side, and Brooklyn side, across the river. Bonjour, Californie. Welcome to the stream. We're streaming for 1 hour and 27 minutes so far. We started around World Trade Center, and now we are at the end of Wall Street. We actually walked through Wall Street, and now we are browsing the Esplanade, the waterfront here, not too far from Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges, not too far from Seaport area of Manhattan. Hey Zakir, hello to you. Look at this indoor spaces. They belong to these restaurants, but they're kind of like separated, and we see the family eating pizza there inside. Daisy, good afternoon. Aaron says the days are getting longer now. Yes, luckily, and also warmer, hopefully soon. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for your subscriptions and for your likes, for your support, for your super chats and super stickers. Thank you, thank you. As we're approaching Seaport area, let's walk around the streets a little bit. Just a little bit before we... Actually, we are here at Seaport, so we'll do the streets a little bit later. Your Dango, how often do you stream at Live Walking NYC? We stream quite often, maybe not every day, but almost every day, and we don't have a permanent schedule, but we use our time wisely if we have an opportunity to stream, and that's why you will get notifications to subscribe. But we it feels good because we will show you New York City live, and more and more people subscribe, which means that they like our content, and thank you all for that. And looks like the signal. Thank you so much for subscribing to your district. which we will explore through here. We will take a look here. Yes, we are aware of the fact that the signal is not stable here, but hopefully it will be more stable than unstable. We want to show you this area here because this Seaport Museum is across the street there, and this is how it all looks around here. They get tickets when it's open, probably.
No, but there's people in there.
Oh, well, I don't know. This is 1885 cargo ship Wave Tree. Built in 1885 in Southampton, Great Britain. Hey, Vahyu, good afternoon. It's a shame that the signal here is unstable, but hopefully now it's getting better. Hey, Vahyu, good afternoon. This is 1908 Ambrose. Ambrose, I was just thinking about you actually because, yes, I bought the Ambrose light bulb. How funny. We are enjoying Seaport district here, and let's see if we can maybe browse through the mall. This is Pier 17 before the Hurricane Katrina. It was an older Pier 17, which was also a mall, but it got damaged so badly that it had to be destroyed and rebuilt completely. And now it's a modern architecture here. Let's yeah, the signal there is pretty bad, so we will skip the mall. We'll continue. Seaport district. We are about to cross the street and browse around Seaport district. Let's see what's cooking there. We're in Seaport District, New York City. This is Fulton Street and South Street. Yeah, the signal is going on and off, but we're walking away from water, so hopefully it will be better. This is South Street Seaport Museum. This area used to be called South Street Seaport, and now it's just called the Seaport. And that's what's called Fulton Market. Patty says, I ate in that restaurant there years ago, had chicken curry. Good memory. Let me ask that lady in the museum a question. Just a second. Hi, good afternoon. I have a question. Is it possible to stream here or do that here or not?
I think you should be able to, although usually if it's something professional to talk.
No, it's just personal use.
Okay, so you can do so as long as you keep mask on. And,
No, mask on is proof of vaccination. Right?
yeah, you can keep vaccination with you and take it.
Okay, just a moment. Thank you. Well, let's see if we can maybe get into the museum. Let's see what happens. You never know unless you try. Just a second. We'll be right back. We're not going anywhere. Let's just see if we can get into the museum. Okay, let's see what happens now. We're going to attempt to get into the Seaport Museum and see if the signal will allow us to stream, and or if that will allow us to stream, or the signal will allow us to stream. Let's see what happens. Okie doke, let's try.
How are you doing?
Hello again.
All right, so I'm gonna just get some
I'll
info
show
from
you
you
this one,
and just your
and-
fax card as well. I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you some questions, quick ones.
Sure. We'll be right back. Okay, we are inside of a Seaport Museum. Let's see if someone else will give us a hard time or not. Hopefully not. This is Seaport Museum in Seaport District, Manhattan. Okay, so now we did not expect that to be so easy. So if it's too good to be true, but okay, let's enjoy the museum, the Seaport Museum. There's a lot of information here. If we don't read all of this real time, we will stream it like this. So then you can always rewind and take a look. This is New York and Ocean Liner. First, second, and third class passengers often traveled for different reasons. For many millionaires, an annual trip to Europe was a requirement to prove their standing in American high society. For business travelers, ocean liners were the only way to reach overseas clients. For most immigrants in third class, the strongest motivation to travel was for the promise of economic opportunity. I'll give. No worries, we will fix it right away. Sorry about that, we're back. Now, if the signal gets a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, we apologize as well. Cities on the sea, the hundreds of rooms aboard the great North Atlantic liners such as Aquitania allowed it to carry more than 4,000 passengers and crew on a single crossing. Hey, Marco della Rosa. That's the Statue of Liberty footage taken by Thomas Edison. This is about the view that you can get from Staten Island Ferry right now if you take Staten Island Ferry. The busiest time for Ellis Island was between 1900 and 1914.
But then the ship, on the other hand, the light ship is anchored really well, so it can't move, with any speed. So it happened like all sorts of things. Yeah, of course.
Excuse me, so from here, we go upstairs?
It's just the bathrooms up there.
So that's it, basically, right? That's,
Yes.
Gotcha. We are inside of a Seaport museum here in Seaport district, and we are going to take a couple of minutes technical break, and we'll be back in just a moment. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. And we're back. What can we say? We were expecting a museum to be a little bit bigger, maybe. And we kind of looked at this building and we hoped that the museum would occupy not just the one room on the first floor, but maybe a second floor, maybe. There is so much history in New York, and there's nothing but one room on the first floor. It is a free museum, however, I don't know why is it so small. It's hard to explain. Probably doesn't get enough financing or whatever the reason is, but this potentially could be one of it could definitely display more than it was displaying. It basically was not displaying anything. I don't know, maybe at some point it was larger, but right now it only occupies one room on the first floor, and that's it. Patty C says, I used to go to Padre Horror, but they are not there anymore. On the bright side, Folk 22 warned us that the light snow has been spotted in North New Jersey, and right now looks like light snow is right here in downtown Manhattan. Very light and pleasant. And we are approaching Water Street. We are on Fulton Street and Water Street. And this is the corner. And the corner is housing Hester Street Fair today and tomorrow between 12 and 7. So let's see. Sometimes Hester Street Fair is outside around Seaport area, but right now it's in there. So we'll take a look and see what happens. We just make sure our batteries are connected and we will be good to go. And bro says the snow made it there from New Jersey. Yep. Only took a moment. And we're just making sure we are connecting. And we are connected. Yes, we are connected. Awesome. Welcome everyone to the stream. There was a little bit of a bummer with the Seaport Museum, which, yeah, it looked too good to be true. Free entrance and nothing more than just one room with virtually no historical artifacts on the first floor. So if you're in the area, I don't think it will impress you as much. Yeah, there is what is this here? Basically stores. Pastor Street is usually just a collection of vendors that sell their own stuff, which is still what we see through the window. It's a very small space too. This is a Seaport area in Manhattan. On the bright side, the signal is stable for now, so we don't have to be worried about the signal. Patty says they also used to have cruises to nowhere. I used to go on the midnight cruise. Don't know if they still do that. I have not been there in a while. It was years ago that I was there. They did it years ago, but never heard of it recently. This is a historical street as well that looks very old-fashioned. And the sign says, discover South Street Seaport Museum, ships and buildings, streets, piers, shops. We just discovered South Street Seaport Museum. Did not impress us, to be honest. The museum used to be here in this building, still has a sign saying South Street Seaport Museum. The street is preserved as it looked many years ago. Even the pavement. Thank you so much for joining our stream. Those who recently discovered our stream, we are in downtown Manhattan and Seaport District. Welcome, welcome. Let's walk around the streets a little bit. So, Seaport District is that way. It's a Fulton Street. This is the intersection of Fulton Street and Water Street. In downtown Manhattan. We're streaming live. We're streaming for 2 hours and 2 minutes so far. And bro says they do manage to get a nice Christmas tree there every year. Yes, that it stands right there at that intersection every year. We are on Water Street. And John Street. This is John Street. Hi FF. FF says nice video, thank you. This is live stream. We're streaming live from New York City. Local time in New York is 1:08 p.m. Fletcher Street is next. Followed by Maiden Lane. Let's see. Let's go a little bit into the streets that way or that way to show you what the neighborhood looks like. This is Maiden Lane, downtown Manhattan. Snow has stopped. It just happened and it ended. Tomorrow, by the way, February 20th, is a big day in Chinatown, New York City, the parade. The parade starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're planning to be there and stream. Hopefully the signal will be consistent. If the signal is inconsistent, we will record it anyways and post it as a separate video. These are our plans. For tomorrow, hopefully. Pearl Street in downtown. Let's walk here. And Lee says, wonderful NYC. Thanks, Al. You are very welcome. We're browsing downtown Manhattan today. We started 2 hours and 7 minutes ago in around the World Trade Center area in the Oculus, and we walked there. We walked through Wall Street, which we're probably about to cross again here. Okay, I see the special sanitation vehicles are spreading salt on the streets right now. So are they expecting more snow? We'll see, we'll see. Look at these narrow streets of downtown New York City. This is the outdoor space for Teeling Whiskey Restaurant. Or it's just one of those restaurants. Oh, it's a Chinese restaurant, Old Xi'an delicacy. Not empty, but it's a pretty original outdoor space. I guess they have tables in there. It's an old bus or car. Yeah, bus, looks like. And bro says not supposed to accumulate, hopefully not. Hey Moise, good afternoon. We're crossing Wall Street again. At Pearl Street, Wall Street and Pearl Street, but this way we just look at Wall Street again and we'll continue. So we walked here not so long ago. Zane from Latvia. Hi. Latvia. Latvia is a Baltic state. Welcome to the stream. We're streaming live from New York City. This is Wall Street and Pearl Street intersection, and we continue on Pearl Street. Used to the restaurant here, now it's empty. And the building was, look at this sign, the New York Cocoa Exchange, Inc. Yeah, we're here in New York City. We're familiar with geography a little bit here and there. Not all of us, but some of us. Those who read the news, maybe watch us TV occasionally. International news. Zane is asking, how long have you been living in New York? For a while. For years. And bro says, didn't expect to see Coco. Yeah. Historical downtown streets. And the views that we can see here and there. This is what we see in narrow streets and older skyscrapers. Next street there is Beaver Street. Zane says Christoph Porzingis and Davis Bertans maybe made our country a bit well known. You know what? That is a great point. Absolutely. Great players too. I was gonna say Sabonis, but he's from Lithuania, if I'm not mistaken, which is right there too, but not exactly the same. His son is playing NBA too. Little Wonder, hey, hey, hey. Hanover Street.
You then will be the emperor of the macaronis. Which are
Welcome everyone to the stream. We're browsing downtown New York City. Old, narrow, crooked streets of downtown. This is Stone Street and William Street intersection. And of course, the modern buildings are here and there popping up non-stop as well. That's unavoidable. However, the street itself is still looks old-fashioned here for the most part, if you don't look up too much. Zane says, I thought New York has a lot more people on the streets daily. Yes, it depends on the time of the day of the week, and the neighborhood. James, good afternoon to you as well. That is the nice view of an old part of town. Resembles somewhat European cities too. Now it's a pretty pleasant temperature today, right now. Oh, look at this line here. Stone Street Tavern. That looks pretty old-fashioned, so. Yeah, brick roads, pavements, old pavements. And these bubbles here are supposed to be outdoor space, but look like these are pretty simple ones in case if someone wants to sit here. But the Cauldron Magical Experience, this pub is called. Thank you, NY. Cobblestone Streets, that's the proper name. Cobblestone Streets. Louis, hello. Who knew that National Margarita Day is February 22nd, according to this sign? Patty says, South Street Seaport used to be a good place to hang out in. Now, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely has changed recently. And the pier 17 looked differently, and the whole surrounding area was different. Everything changes. This is Broad Street. That's a nice downtown ambience. Zane is asking, do you know what's the oldest building in the city? I think the oldest standing structure in the city is the Fraunces Tavern. It's a very historical tavern where George Washington used to spend his time while being in New York during the Revolutionary War and after. And speaking of devil, today is a day of coincidences. The Mighty Bull and the Raging Bull, the Charging Bull, sorry. And then the oldest standing structure in New York City, I believe, is Fraunces Tavern, which is happened to be right here across the street from us. And bro said, I just ate there, established in 1762. The porterhouse at Fraunces Tavern is the adjacent restaurant in this historical building. And let's see if it's open.
Alright, everybody. So before we make it to our next stop, which is a little bit further down the plaza behind me, I want to talk about the building right across the street up here. That is Fraunces Tavern. That is one of the most important historical sites we have in the city. One of the reasons is it does happen to be one of the oldest buildings still here in New York. There's also a lot of very important things that happened. During the American Revolution, Fraunces Tavern was known as a Liberty Bar. This is where the New York chapter of the Sons of Liberty gathered to talk about rebellion and independence. And in 1783, George Washington and his officer corps celebrated victory in the Revolutionary War right here in Fraunces Tavern. The original owner was a man named Samuel Fraunces. He was a very successful businessman. He was a strong supporter.
Thank you so much to Folk 22. Thank you.
Presidential administration was here in New York. Samuel Fraunces served as his executive steward for his estate. But Sam Fraunces also had a secret. That secret was that he was of African descent. Samuel Fraunces was passing as white. There were some times where African Americans were born with lighter skin that they would then reinvent themselves as white people in order to gain rights being denied to them because of the racial laws in this country. Samuel Fraunces, he was one of those individuals. This is very dangerous to do. If you were caught passing as white, you could have been fined, you could have been arrested, you could have been killed. It's very dangerous. It's also very destructive to African American families because in order for someone to successfully pass as white, they'd have to cut off all ties with their African roots, especially ties to their family. Now, have any of you heard of an abolitionist by the name of James McCune Smith? James McCune Smith, I do have a picture of him. Here he is. He was from right here in New York City. He attended the African Free School that was here. That school was built by both black and white philanthropists in order to give African American children an education. It was the very beginning of the New York City public school system. After he graduated from the free school, he had to leave the country to further his education. He went to the University of Glasgow, Scotland. In 1837, he graduated to become the first black physician. He then came back here to New York. He built a pharmacy here. He became a prolific scientific writer and a strong and vocal advocate for African American rights. But it was discovered just a few years ago, in 2010, that Dr. Smith has white descendants. So there was a woman who was attending a conference on slavery in the Underground Railroad up in Connecticut. And heard his name, James McCune Smith, thought it sounded very familiar. So she started doing her own research and found his name in her old family Bible. She realized that she was a direct descendant of Dr. Smith. And what had happened was that Smith's two children, they were both born with lighter skin. So instead of following in their father's footsteps and fighting for African American rights, they both decided to pass as white instead. So when Dr. Smith died, he had absolutely no family that was left. They had all abandoned him. There was no one left to even leave a tombstone on his grave. I have an article here from Connecticut in 2010. This is about his white descendants finally able to leave that tombstone there for Dr. Smith. So that is just one example of how destructive it could have been for African American families for someone to attempt to pass as white. But many people found it necessary as a coping mechanism to deal with the very oppressive racial laws that were going on in the country. Now our next stop a little bit further down in the plaza, I'm going to talk about what some of those laws were right here in New York. Before we head down over there, do you have any questions for me here? Yeah. So we know that he moved from the Caribbean here to New York, and he changed his name. He definitely changed Fraunces. It used to be Francis. He added the U because he thought it sounded more cosmopolitan. Towards the end of his life, he gained the nickname known as Black Francis, either because they found out a secret or it was said that he had a very dark sense of humor. But at that point, he had gained so many political allies. He had like Washington, both Alexander Hamilton and Henry Knox. They ran the offices of the Treasury and the War Department, originally out of Fraunces Tavern because there was no room anywhere else in the city at the time. Which I think explains a lot about our economy, was that it was invented in war. But, so he had gained so many political allies that even after his secret was found, he was still protecting something. Now, there's a museum inside there. The museum doesn't recognize his African lineage, but most historians have come to the conclusion he must have been. Came from the Caribbean, moved here to New York, changed his name. Very kind of exactly what someone who was passing away would do. Alright, so if you guys are all set, we're going to head to our next stop.
Thank you so much to Folk 22 for your support. Thank you. And look, perfect timing. We just got the professional tour about Fraunces Tavern here. Fraunces Tavern looks open. We perhaps wanna, let's see what we can do with that. I'm not sure if we will go inside, but at least we will take a look from the outside. And let's read the signage on the building as well. And this is the longest standing structure in Manhattan in New York City. Fraunces Tavern. Erected in 1719, Chamber of Commerce founded here in 1768. Washington's farewell to his officers, December 4th, 1783. Centennial celebration of Washington's farewell, 1883. Sons of the Revolution reorganized here December 4th, 1883. The building purchased and restored by the Sons of the Revolution as a memorial to Frederick's Talmadge, a 1905 ceremony attending restoration December 4th, 1907. Ambrose, thank you. Samuel Fraunces bought building in 1762 and initially operated as the Queen's Head Tavern.
Is that the entrance?
Fraunces Tavern. After the American Revolutionary War on December 4th, 1783, General George Washington bade an emotional farewell to his officers at the banquet held in the long room located on the second floor of this tavern. Samuel Fraunces, a West Indian innkeeper, was the proprietor. He later became Washington's chief steward. Fraunces, also as American patriot, was host to secret meetings of the Sons of Liberty and gave aid to American prisoners of war. The present building, purchased by the Sons of the Revolution in 1904, was restored by them on the site and has since been maintained by them. Plaque provided by the New York Community Trust, 1976. The National Treasure has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The process has Bison burger with chipotle sauce there, just like Washington must have had. That's an exquisite burger. And that's the menu here at the restaurant. Sally H, greetings from 23rd Street. Hey, Sally H from 23rd Street.
It's not in the park, but you see the big building with the steps in the front. That's
You're welcome. And that was a perfect timing when we caught the tour right across from the tavern. Let's see here. This building was purchased and reconstructed by the Sons of the Revolution in the state of New York under the supervision of a committee consisting of Robert Oliphant, Charles Henderson, and so forth and so on in 1907. Looks like there is a line of people waiting to get in.
We're just waiting for people to leave from a table in there that's big enough for all of you guys, and then we can get you guys down, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How's it going, everybody?
Is there a way to buy a ticket
For
for the museum?
museum, you just head right up the stairs, and they'll take care of you.
Thank
That
you.
also really doesn't like that guy.
Oh, let's see how far we can go this time. These people are waiting for the restaurant. Sorry, excuse me. Going right upstairs. Let's see, we're going right upstairs. Oh, the restaurant is super busy. And it looks super awesome too. Is there possible to buy a ticket? Is it okay if I... But everywhere else? Just a second. Okay, they did not allow us to record or stream what the tour is in that room, but we will see what we can do.
Any other questions?
What's on that dish, shelf?
Those are
Try to get into that room. This is the room where George Washington bid the farewell to his generals. We are inside of the Fraunces Tavern in downtown Manhattan. This is the bust of George Washington, Jean-Antoine Houdon, 1786. Let's see if we can jump into the tour, maybe.
Sorry for the delay. So, in here we are in the Scott Gallery, which has the many faces of George Washington in it. Sorry for the tight squeeze. As you can kind of tell, nobody has quite the uniform depiction of George Washington's face. He's the most famous man in the world at this point, so just like today, everybody wants to picture. So the quality of images depends largely on the quality of the artist. Some of them have never seen Washington in person before, which is kind of obvious based on just what they're showing. For example, that's not what George Washington looks like. But some are much more accurate than others. For example, what that's right here is a replica of a bust that's in the Louvre that's called the Gondola. That is considered one of the most accurate depictions of George Washington. It's a very good likeness of it, I believe. But as you can see, many different depictions. Some artists straight up just use their face to be Washington's face. People aren't caring as long as they get a picture of the person who's George Washington. He's elected the first president in 1789. When the war ends, the American United States uses the Articles of Confederation. They're in utter disaster. The country almost falls apart. And so they decided they needed something more stable. They hold a constitutional convention in 1787 in Philadelphia. George Washington is very reluctant to attend. He has no interest. He's eventually persuaded because they know how important he is in the new credibility of the election convention. His attendance would have to do that because he's nominated to be its president by Benjamin Franklin, and when he ratify the Constitution and establish the new federal government, he's unanimous choice to be the president. He's basically the only candidate. The only person that might have a chance was Benjamin Franklin himself. The problem is Benjamin Franklin was very old, he was very sick. He would only die a year later. So he has no way he's going to be involved at that level. He's Washington's theology choice. His first vice president is John Adams. And so he establishes his cabinet, Secretary of State, and Secretary of State, Secretary of Treasury, the worker Alexander Hamilton, which is campaign, which is the war, and Secretary of War, his very good friend, and leader, Henry Knox, who was the live streaming during the tour. And the Attorney General.
We're just trying not to talk much, not to disrupt anything here, but we are inside of a Fraunces Tavern, and we were just told not to stream during the live tour, so we are going to walk upstairs in the meantime. And bro says that brings back memories from 2 weeks ago. And why? Went here with my daughter's class many years ago. Was always supposed to go back with my husband one day. The stairway is closed. It's the third floor of Fraunces Tavern Museum. Sounds of the Revolution with Frederick Samuel Talmadge. Souvenir postcards. 4 beautiful views, 10 cents. Fraunces Tavern. Original brick from Netherlands, 18th century. This is John Austin Stevens. This painting is The Battle of Princeton, 1777, by John Ward Donsmore. small swords that were being used in 17th and 18th century. This is Fraunces Tavern Museum in downtown Manhattan. We are in Fraunces Tavern, where George Washington bid farewell to his generals in 1783. It's a historical building and the oldest standing structure in New York City. It's a pretty big museum. Major General Alexander MacDougall. The Massachusetts Spy newspaper was published in Boston in the 1700s. American regimental flags of the Revolutionary War. Regimental flags of the Revolutionary War. This is Rhode Island Regiment. 13 stars, the first 13 states. Black patriots in the Revolutionary War. The yellow flag and white flag ahead represent the Bucks of Massachusetts and the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, 2 prominent black units involved in the war. We're exploring town, and it's pretty symbolic. President's Day is on Monday, and Washington's birthday is on Tuesday. So we're touring Fraunces Tavern, and that is pretty symbolic because Washington Thursday is on 22nd and President's Day is on 21st, all in a few days. These are the regimental flags of Revolutionary Army during the Revolutionary War. Let's see what else we didn't see yet. Certain areas here are prohibited from taking videos and pictures that room with George Washington bid the farewell to his generals, but we kind of got a look at it, quick look. Over here before. This is early American flag, early 19th century. And the muskets of 18th century.
Would have been where the city of Washington lived, so I have the original blueprints of that. I have some things to show that, really buried in the New York Historical Society archives. Yeah, so that's why I thought, that's why I thought this might be the venue. I wasn't sure. I mean, I've talked to folks at different venues. This one, I saw you had a number of speakers, and I thought this might be a place that attracts people who are interested in this.
They're small.
Okay.
Yeah.
The original building was constructed as a house for the Delancey family in 1719. However, no known image of that house exists. Some other time Samuel Francis purchased the building. The Delanceys had been opened as a Queen's Head in 1762. Original tavern operated by Samuel Francis was a hub of activity. Javier, hi from Guatemala City. Hi Javier, welcome to the stream. Rooms for afternoon teas and so forth. And these are the prices at that time in cents, which was pretty expensive probably anyways. What year is that? 1900s to 1914? 1914, that's the menu. 1914. Ambrose said a website said Washington preferred chicken pot pie. And this is how it looked like in the beginning of 20th century. So John Jay and Henry Knox headed the Departments of War and Foreign Affairs, friends of Washington during the Revolution. It's a photograph made in 1867. And between 1801 and 1904 it was a boarding house. We are in Fraunces Tavern in downtown Manhattan. And as of 1907, it is a museum. In 1900, this building was set for demolition to construct a new skyscraper due to lack of space in the growing city. But the building was bought by the Sons of the Revolution to preserve it and convert it into the museum. And in 1965, this building was considered a landmark, and in 1974, it was almost destroyed again, but it was halted by New York Landmarks Conservancy, which created the Fraunces Tavern historic block, saving tavern and the adjoining buildings. Definitely a whole lot more than South Street Support Museum, says Ambrose. I agree. This is the highest available floor of this museum, and we'll go downstairs again. Okay. Let's see if we can get a view of the room that's technically not supposed to be filmed for some reasons. This is the long room. This is where George Washington bid the farewell to his generals. And it says no photos here, especially videos. So before we get kicked out of here, maybe let's take a good look. Rules are created to break them, I guess. As long as we behave, we are taking a good look of this room. For some reason, it's no pictures allowed and no video allowed here. And good, we took a good look of this room as well. Yes, this is the first time in this museum, and looks like today, because of President's Day and Washington birthday, they have so-called open house here in this museum, and actually the ticket is $1, which is pretty much next to nothing. Just trying to stay out of trouble. NYC is usually $7, I think. Not bad either. By the way, if you just discovered our stream, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We invite you to Live Walk in NYC. We're streaming live for you. It's very noisy downstairs as the restaurant is downstairs. A stoic countenance, portraits of George Washington. Welcome everyone to the stream. We're streaming live from Fraunces Tavern. It's in downtown Manhattan, and that's a historical building and a living memory to George Washington, among the other historical figures. So this bust is a 19th century replica of the original bust in the Louvre Museum, created by Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1786. For the creation of the bust of Washington, Houdon traveled to Mount Vernon, Virginia to meet and study Washington in person. Houdon and 3 assistants spent 2 weeks in Virginia making a mold of Washington's face and taking detailed measurements. Washington documented Houdon's visit in his diaries, which detailed his interest in the process of plaster casting. So we can assume that this bust is a 100% match to George Washington's face, and that also is a real size, basically it is a proportionally 100% correct bust of George Washington that was created by Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1786, and original is in Louvre Museum in Paris. This is Clinton dining room. They're closed for no access in there, but we can see it. It's not too big, not too small, so we can actually see what it looked like. But of course, this one over here is the centerpiece of this museum. Is the long room. Francesco Bellini says this is the beginning of the history of American nation. Definitely one of the historical places. So the oysters, the pipe, cards, playing cards, alcohol, of course. Ambrose says just watch the TV version of Hamilton, so this plays well right now. Yes, very close, similar ambience and atmosphere. This door is located right across the hallway from the guy who's sitting there and selling tickets. So if you can catch us videotaping, we will be in a little bit of trouble, so we're not going to go that way. We'll stay here. Fantastic. So let's see what we accomplished today so far in this 3 hours and 20 minutes of streaming. We started in the Oculus and World Trade Center, and we walked out World Trade Center and then Broadway, and then we saw the Charging Bull, and we walked through Wall Street, then we walked through Seaport district, and we even went into the Seaport Museum, which happened to be as small as this one room and really with no artifacts of any kinds and sorts. So it was pretty boring, unfortunately, but we explored the area, and then we browsed around downtown area, and we happened to be here at Fraunces Tavern, where they have an open house today and tomorrow dedicated to the President's Day. President's Day is Monday, February 21st, and Washington's birthday is the event that started President's Day is February 22nd. It's just that President's Day is celebrated on the third Monday of each in February. And therefore, Fraunces Tavern as the museum dedicated to George Washington, and him being here in 1783 bidding farewell to his generals, is an open house today and tomorrow with the discounted tickets of just $1. You can visit this museum and enjoy the history. So this stream was longer than we planned, and this stream was more informative and definitely more exciting even than we planned. So we hope you're enjoying it with us. And if you would like to support our channel with Super Chat, Super Stickers, or through Ko-Fi, Venmo, or Cash App, you're more than welcome to do so. But we do appreciate your subscriptions and your time spent watching our channel. Your shares and your likes are very much appreciated, and your donations are as well. Nice guy says, amazing stream, thank you, Al. You're welcome. We apologize for the signal inconsistency at the beginning especially, and we also apologize for our camera being a little jumpy sometimes. But we finishing the stream here at the entrance of the long room where George Washington did the farewell to his generals in 1783. And even though we're not supposed to be here with our camera, we're doing this for you, and we're doing this for our own curiosity, and we are very happy that you were able to visit this museum with us today, no matter where you are in the world. We may stream again later today, and this is our pleasure to show you New York City as we see it and as we enjoy it. And with all that, we want to thank you again for your precious time dedicated to watching our streams. We do appreciate it, and we wish you a great Saturday and great weekend. And for those in the United States, great President's Day weekend. But we will most definitely see you soon. We don't know exactly when and where, but if you subscribe to our channel with all notifications, you will never miss the stream. So we just want to invite you to our channel. If you're not subscribed yet, then subscribe with all notifications. With all that, we're going to say goodbye for now from the Fraunces Tavern in downtown New York City. We will see you later. We will see you soon. Leave your comments. Thank you very much for your chat participation as always. Patty C says your streams are wonderful. Thank you so much. Francesca says there was also General Lafayette French. Absolutely. Absolutely. We will see you later. We will see you soon. Have a fantastic day and fantastic weekend. Bye, Fang. Bye, Patty. And we will see you all later. Goodbye.